Following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
All right, welcome in, everybody, to Mornings on Main Street. One more time, man. Yeah, well done, everybody. Welcome in to this Monday, December 13th, 2021, Mornings on Main Street. I am your host, taking you through the next hour. We got a lot to get to this morning, too, as well. We're going to talk about the tornadoes in Kentucky and Tennessee Friday night, early Saturday morning, just devastating. We have a guy that's joined us, a good friend of mine at 710, who went through the tornadoes in East Nashville a year and a half ago. He's from Bowling Green. He saw his family's neighborhood just get destroyed, and just his thoughts and reaction when he pulled up there on Saturday to help his family out. So we'll talk with Jason Carman then. Then, of course, 720, Terry McCormick, Titans Insider, will join us as the Titans. Yesterday's win wasn't pretty, but you know what? A win is a win is a win is a win. So they're now 9-4, and Terry McCormick will join us. 7:30. Max Winnitz from Blood Assurance will hop on the show. They're doing a blood drive today in Bowling Green. They got one here in Nashville. They're opening a new center here in Hermitage. So he'll join us, talk about how we can help out the victims and the families from the tornado by donating blood, because they're already at a critical need with what happened, even more so now. Then at 7:40, our good friend Jason Gooseby will join us with the Inside Scoop, the latest happening around Wilson County and things around Middle Tennessee. So we got a lot going for you today on the show. Let's bring in the intern who had a fun weekend, big time.
Yes,
he's
sir.
moved, new background and everything. Where are we now?
We just changed sides from the basement.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we made it our own. You know, we got a little.
Not
Guitar?
nice.
Yeah.
Now, did you draw that guitar back there?
I did not. You know, I got people for that. So.
Okay. Hey, how's Papa intern? I haven't seen him in a while.
He's doing great, man. He's doing very great. You know.
You have no idea, do you?
Well, you know, they just open the door and throw food down in the basement.
Okay.
Is that you drinking your coffee there?
Yeah. What does that signify?
It means that you don't care.
Mhm. That's right. So I got to be careful when I do that when we have guests on.
Right.
Because the other day with Rick Stockstill, I almost drank my coffee. And
I know it.
So I was like, I was like, I'm interested in what the coach has to say, not so much you, but
Exactly.
what the coach has to say.
Exactly.
So we'll do that. I heard you had a nice weekend playing the ponies.
I did, man. Yeah, I had got lucky. Fell asleep, woke up this morning with some dollars in the account because of the games yesterday.
Okay,
So.
good. I did a 9-team. Okay, now you won a parlay, correct?
Correct.
How many games?
9 games.
Okay, so I did 9 as well. I went 2 for 7. You went 9-0.
Right. Well, I had another parlay going that I also did horribly at, but this is the one that made money. So
But you won 9 games yesterday.
9 games.
That is amazing.
Yes, I know. Hopefully I can keep it going.
I don't wager a lot because I don't have a lot to wager. But at the same time, that's pretty. I mean, 2 for 7. I should do here's the deal. I'll pick games. You pick the opposite. You'll win. We'll split half.
There you go. That should be the show right there.
Okay, you like that?
I like it a lot.
In fact, I liked it so much I didn't even drink my coffee on that right there.
You were actually listening.
That meant something, and I wanted to hear that. All right, so let's pop with the latest headlines. What's going? Well, there we go again. I can't even get it correct there. Here we get this morning because with the headlines on the Main Street National paper that came in this morning, the e-edition that you can get delivered right to your inbox. I got mine this morning. They came in, and there we go. I didn't register. Boom. There we have it. The picture right there on the front page of today's December 13th, 2021. I really, working in news for 25 years, covering tornadoes, you just never get used to seeing that. And that's just, that's this devastation. That's in Mayfield, Kentucky, and all the devastation there. And I just got no words for that. You see just the path, the destruction, and everything that still happened. And, many to the right of that, many still without power in Nashville, and I just got to give it to the NES crews. Those men and women are fantastic. I mean, they were out and about before it hit, after it hit, worked all weekend. So there will never, ever, ever be any NES slander on this show as long as I am here because they work nonstop, tirelessly to get the power back on. So thank you for that. It was just awful. I mean, you just see the coverage and you pray for them. I mean, Mayfield and Bowling Green and Kingston Springs and Dixon, things that are happening. So we'll talk more about that throughout the show. Moving on, if you saw this came out last week with Taylor Courage, but Murfreesboro scores a $350 million athletic and entertainment facility that's going to be built down there in Rutherford County. And here's the renderings of this. I mean, it is something to see. These here in the middle, I'm told, are pickleball courts. Intern, have you ever played pickleball?
I have, yeah. It's like a step up from ping pong.
It is, but a step below tennis.
Exactly.
So it's like I can't play tennis because I'm out of shape and I'm fat, but I can't do ping pong because I don't exercise. So pickleball is perfect for me.
Right.
Perfect for me. Are you any good?
I would like to say I am. I'm good at ping pong, so I like pickleball. Yeah.
So if I'm so there's pickleball in here. There's 1, 2, 6 baseball. It's like 10 baseball fields. And there's like a cheerleading place there. There's hockey that's going on. So Taylor with Courage with the story. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, Murfreesboro, Rutherford County is just exploding down there. So with everything that's happening, you can read that in today's paper with what's happening. But, then you go down the road a little bit to Wilson County and then Angie Mays, Wilson County Schools may build 3 schools in the near future. We'll talk to Jason Gooseby about this because I mean, there are schools popping up left and right, and I had no idea reading the article that there in 5 years will be more than 22,000 students in Wilson County schools. 22,000 students. This area, I don't know any place in the country where it's exploding as much as it is right here for us. So that's all today in the paper. And again, I love the history part. I've subscribed just for the history part of the paper. 60 years ago, the national banner of this day in history. Article right in the middle, Adolf Eichmann makes plea to save life, the Nazi who went through the trial and they sentenced him to death. And just reading that in the paper and the article about that, it's just it's something else to read because you read about it in the history books, but see this in the paper and things are happening at the time. But again, get the e-edition of the Main Street National paper and you can see this and read all the stories that happen that's go on. Down the way. All right, so we had a fun event on Friday. The intern and I went and covered the opening of the Pancake Pantry on Friday. Look at that handsome devil to the right there, right? So the Pancake Pantry event, and there's a pancake eating contest, and they come out, and so I wanted to win this, but I couldn't eat the pancake. I only got one down. So what I did is I hid my plate, and then Terry Crisp right now is awarding me the ribbon for winning, but then as I see down there, however, Dubin reached under a table, pulled out a plate of pancakes and said, and I said this, I cannot lie to Terry Crisp. He's Nashville's grandfather. I just can't. I was showing all the crowd the pancakes I hid. And then Jill Jelnick from Fox 17 sports reporter, who does a fantastic job. Jill won the event and took the pancakes home. But that was really cool to see the Pancake Pantry opening downtown in the bottom of a hotel on the ground floor. It's really, really cool what they're doing now. Now, we'll talk more Titans here in a little bit with Terry McCormick. Will join us. They got a win yesterday over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And again, a win is a win. Wasn't pretty, but they're still in first place at 9-4. Nashville Predators won yesterday. They went 4-0 on the road trip, so really cool for them. And the Predators back home on Tuesday night as they take on Calgary. All right, intern, are you ready for our daily you know what?
Let's do it.
This is our comic strip tease where the intern and I will role play. So this is a cartoon called Baby Blues. Playing the role of mom is the intern. Playing the role of the disheveled father will be myself. Our intern, are you good with this?
I'm ready.
And go. Oh, I'll go first. Sorry. All right. 3, 2. So what's this thing that Zoe wants for Christmas?
Baby Pony Face. It's a doll with a human body and a head of a pony. It cries, whinnies, and comes with its own vet bills.
Whatever happened to teddy bears? Oh, it's just so terrible. Again, I hope the boss isn't watching, but this is Baby Blues. Oh, my goodness. All right, we hope we put a smile on your face because that certainly did with me. All right, so let me stop the screen here. Boom, there we go. All right, intern, thank you, buddy. All right, we come back. Let's bring in Jason Carman here in a few moments, talk about what he saw. He's from Bowling Green. His family still lives there. They're okay. Thankfully, they're okay. A lot of friends and neighbors up there are not. So we'll talk to Jason and what he saw when he went up there on Saturday after the tornado. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
I was looking for a major where I didn't have to do math or science. And when I took, so my sophomore year, I just took a ton of different classes trying to figure out something I liked, and one of them was Journalism 101. And it was like, well, this is great. You get to ask people questions and find out about them and then write about it. What could be better? So that's how I got into it.
You know what I really love about Main Street is it really feels like a team. And there's this camaraderie, and I don't feel competition in an unhealthy way. There's always competition in a healthy way. But what I really love is that the only competition we have is with ourselves to be better at covering the stories.
I've always wanted to kind of bring a voice and a hometown feel to the newspaper industry. I kind of just fell in love with words and storytelling, and I figured newspapers and magazines and reporting kind of just fell in line with that. I kind of want to, the cliche, give a voice to the voiceless. So kind of fell in love with that and been doing it for years now.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Let's get right to what the big story happened this weekend, a tornado that came through Tennessee and Kentucky Friday and Saturday. Let's bring in Jason Carman. Jason, I know you're there somewhere, buddy. Good morning to you, Jason.
Let me get up and running here. Sorry,
That's all right. Take your time.
Let's see.
I appreciate you doing this after the weekend you went through, man. So
Absolutely,
you take your time
absolutely. I'm really glad to hold on one moment.
Jason's family, and Jason's from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I can only imagine what that was like Saturday morning watching the news. And, real quick shout out to all the TV meteorologists at all the stations. I give them a hard time. I give TV stations a hard time, but the meteorologists stayed, some 12, 14 hours Friday, Saturday to make sure we were safe. So shout out to every one of them at Channel 245 and Fox 17 did a fantastic job for helping us out and keeping people safe as much as they could with the tornado that came through on Saturday morning. I say Friday night, West Tennessee Friday night, and came through Saturday morning. Jason, you all right? We hear you, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I've just got a camera placement issue here that I'll be more than glad to resolve for us.
That's all right, then. Hey, as we get you ready to come on here, we're going to put up some of the pictures that you sent me, all right?
Absolutely. All right. I think I'm ready to roll here.
There you go. All right. So that's one. Is this the deck at whose deck is this?
Yeah, that is my best friend's house. That's his back deck right there that we're looking at. He lives over in what's known as the Covington area, which is right off Briarwood. It's kind of the not far from Western Kentucky University. Anyways, that is the area that probably got hit the hardest. You know, this stretch of area has got tremendous tree coverage. You've got a lot of neighborhoods with 100-year-old, 200-year-old trees that are 100 feet tall everywhere, all over the place. It's much like Green Hills in Nashville as far as like the age of the neighborhoods and the destruction. So when these trees came down, they did extensive damage.
So let me ask you, let me back up. When you went up there Saturday morning and you're driving through a neighborhood you know well, I can only imagine the emotions you went through to see this destruction.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, Joe. You know, I live here in Nashville, been here for 17 years, and I live in East Nashville, so I was here to witness the destruction here, and it was bad. It was very, very bad. And what I'm about to say, I don't want to make it sound as if to make light of or less of what we went through here in Nashville, but the scope of the destruction in Bowling Green is on a much wider scale. I hit multiple neighborhoods. Also, I think that yeah, right there is my friend's roof, my best friend's roof, or what used to be left of it. The biggest deal of Bowling Green is two things. It hit a corridor that would be equivalent of it. Imagine a massive tornado going down West End or Gallatin Road or Charlotte Pike. Tons of commercial businesses, a lot of residential areas next to it. So it really, I mean, the hardest stretch it hit was known as 31W, which is actually the old I-65 that runs right through Bowling Green. It's a 4-lane road. It's heavily commercial, filled with tons of small businesses. So seeing that, like I said, I've seen some destruction, obviously living here in East Nashville. I definitely saw some intense damage that was very traumatizing, but what was going on up there was definitely on a scale. It almost felt like it was twice as much. It hit a ton more residential areas and a lot of homes, way more total loss of homes going on up there. You know, in that area where the first pictures we looked at, where my friend lives, that is a heavily residential area. It's also a really expensive area. It's a very in demand area, part of Bowling Green. So you're seeing a lot of homes that are, they're people's dream homes that they want to live in their whole lives, and they're rubble now, are uninhabitable. But it was definitely a traumatic scene, and just the scope of the destruction. I think it speaks a lot to the fact that this storm went 230 miles nonstop without breaking up. That to me, I'm no meteorologist, but that to me sounds like a system that has multiple tornadoes involved. I don't think it was just one tornado, because that was the way it was able to maintain that distance of destruction for states. So this thing was huge. They're calling it F3. I mean, I'm not a meteorologist or a storm expert, but it was pretty close to an F4, some of the damage you're seeing here. Again, this picture right here is across the street from my best friend's house. You can see the brick in the top of that building is gone. I mean, it just got blown out by the magnitude of this damage. But again, they're really they're in a tough spot right now. You've got a lot of people, a tremendous amount of damage, and of course, my biggest concern right now up there is you got tons of people without electricity, and that are going to be they will be lucky to have electricity by Christmas at this point, because you've got stretches where you're going to have to. It's not like the power company just comes and reattaches your cord to the pole. They're going to have to build all new poles in a couple mile stretches.
I mean, that could take forever. That could take months.
Exactly. And what's even worse is, last 2 nights, can you imagine being without any heat? The fact that people don't have power right now in the middle of December is definitely, it's a concern from a health standpoint for a lot of people, elderly people. There's a ton of elderly people in these neighborhoods who certainly, are at risk. And the one thing, not to make light of what we went through here in Nashville, but the blessing in disguise when that tornado hit March 3rd, we had people I know in East Nashville, in the hardest hit East Nashville areas, it was 2 weeks before they got their power on. But luckily they had mild weather. It was March. It was tolerable. You could get through the nights. It wasn't 22 degrees
right,
like it was, the last 2 nights. So I think that's the biggest immediate, issue right now, is you just got a lot of people without power and don't have anywhere to go. And like I said, the scope of the destruction is pretty massive. And again, I can't stress enough about how the fact that it went through the corridors it went through, those are major arteries in Bowling Green. Tons of commercial businesses, tons of restaurants, tons of small businesses as well. And, you really, when you think about that small business angle, how much, that's a backbone of a community like Bowling Green, a big employer. Obviously, a lot of people's livelihoods are tied into that. And, and they're just getting back. A lot of restaurants up there just now getting back on their feet because they were shut down way longer in Kentucky and then they were in Tennessee. So they were hanging on by a thread anyway. So you see these little small businesses who are already in trouble that were hoping to just that this was going to be the holiday season was going to be a big one to get them through and get them rolling, and they're devastated now. And they're going to be standing in line, and I'm sure for a lot of those small businesses they're going to have to reconsider, do we even reopen at this point?
Yeah.
Because
let me ask, is your family okay?
Yeah, my family is. I was very fortunate. My mom's home is located off Scottsville Road, which is a little bit of ways from this, thankfully. And so she was spared. Her neighborhood was pretty much spared. My sister, on the other hand, is also okay. But honestly, Joe, it's a miracle. She lives right off 31W in a stretch for people that are familiar with Bowling Green. There's a new roundabout they built on Nashville Road that's right next to Western's campus. My sister literally lives across the street from that roundabout. Nashville Road is 31W that I mentioned earlier. So she literally lived one street over from the eye of the storm. The fact that her home is still standing is a miracle. I mean, you stand in her front yard and it looks like Armageddon. And so she was spared. I think we showed a picture earlier. She had a huge tree that went down. Luckily, it fell away from her home, but her neighbor's roof across the street is gone. And like I said, she was spared. She's safe. And luckily, my mom has a nice, larger home that she can stay at in the short term. And luckily, my mom got power back late Saturday night. So they're okay. So I've been really blessed. And I want to say that me speaking about what I've seen, I was lucky, but in regards to my immediate family, but also my parents own a business, a commercial property that was also one street over from 31W, literally just from the eye of the storm. They luckily, their building is still intact, but the road that they're building on is so impassable. It has so much damage that they can't even get in there to look and see what's going on. There was a gas leak. Their business property was literally one street over from the eye of it. And so we've got a lot of picking up to do there. And they also have two rental properties that are behind that building. One of them has a tree through it right now. So
good Lord, man.
We got off the hook from a residential standpoint, but we have a commercial business property that's definitely going to be a challenge to get rebuilt. And so, but I'm very blessed and grateful that my family is safe. And I personally don't know anyone who was a victim of this so far, but they're at like 15 fatalities already, which is
terrible. Well, look, man, I know it's tough to talk about it because after you went through in March of 20 and now your family this weekend. I appreciate you, Jason, for coming on, sharing the pictures. And
my pleasure. Sorry about the technical difficulties in the front end, Joe.
It's all good. And just sharing a little bit of hope of what we're doing up there. So if you need anything, man, to get the word out, you got my number. Let me know. We'll continue helping you guys out. All right.
Absolutely. Take care, Joe. Thanks for your time.
All right, brother. Jason Carman, who is from Bowling Green, his family. You saw the pictures, everything that went on up there and all the fatalities. Man, my heart just is broken. Just awful. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More Mornings on Main Street after this.
Hey everybody, it's Hunter Briley with Regal Realty Group, proud sponsor of Pet of the Week of Big Joe Duman and Main Street Media. We've got a super exciting event that we're about to release on you. It's called the 2021 Santa Paws Adopt-a-thon, and it's right here at Tremont Mansion here in Hermitage, Tennessee. We would love to invite you and any of your friends to come on out that day on December 18th from 12 noon to 4 p.m. We're going to have a lot of food, snacks, some drinks, and a lot of great times, but most important, we're going to have puppy dogs from at least 8 local shelters from around Middle Tennessee. They're going to bring some dogs. We're going to try to find them permanent homes, ladies and gentlemen. What better way to start off your Christmas holidays than to take home a lovely new pet for your family? Come on out. Again, that's December 18th. It's a Saturday, 12 noon to 4 p.m. right here at Tremont Mansion. We would love to have you. It's free. Come on out. We'll feed you. We'll give you a couple drinks, and you get to play with some puppies. Thanks so much, everybody.
I am Dr. Birding, the founder, CEO, and president at Home Care Preference. I am a successful African-American female entrepreneur in business with Wilson Bank and Trust. With the partnership that I have, the level of my dreams is the limit of that company's success. When there's strong partnership, everything is possible.
All right, welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. Really thank Jason Carman for joining us and talking about what he went through with his family, everything. Everybody's okay right there. Because you saw the pictures we showed. There's one I'm going to show, intern, if I could do this correctly, which just to me, after having so many tornadoes, is that the one there? Yeah, that's the one. He said just going down the main drag there in Bowling Green. Poles down, buildings crushed. I mean, debris everywhere. And you see what's happening there. And it just rips you apart. To see that friends and neighbors up there, and of course the scene from Mayfield, Kentucky. We'll show you the front page of today's paper of the e-edition of Main Street Nashville, and it is something. I mean, there's really no words to see. And you heard reports that were coming out there Saturday morning when it went through Mayfield, Kentucky, and the candle factory up there that was happening, and all that was going on, and just the destruction, and more than 50 people lost their lives in that. And we talked about this on Friday. The warning, and a friend of ours that works at the Weather Channel, Mike Bettis, said that the tornado conditions were a 5. And I can't recall the last time a tornado. The March 2020 tornado that came through here, I don't think that maybe a 1. I mean, it wasn't even talked about to be that bad, and it came through and it was awful. And this thing we kind of knew. So you just wonder how many more people were prepared, and just so thankful that the numbers of fatalities weren't higher. And good, again, to get the word out to people to be safe. And I see the pictures of our friends in Kingston Springs and in Dixon, and the rebuilding that's going on. I was watching this morning, and they're still cruising Kingston Springs, and no power that's happening over there. So just the scope of this. And I know you see it now, we focus on recovery. And I will say this, after what happened, because we've been affected by so many tornadoes in the last years around here, the people that come together. I remember when DCA got hit, there were so many people that showed up to help with cleanup and debris in the neighborhoods in Mount Juliet and in Cookeville and Lebanon. People that showed up came from literally hundreds of miles away, because I interviewed them to help out and to help people rebuild and get back on their feet. I know that Franklin Graham, his organization, Samaritans, and I can't remember the last part of the name, but they showed up for a couple of weeks in town and helped people get back on their feet, and with rebuilding and with groceries. And sometimes simply, I remember somebody, I think it's Samaritan's Purse, I think it's what it is, said that sometimes simply they just want to talk. They just want to sit down and talk with somebody to let people know that they care and they're thinking about them. So that's what's happening right there. All right, so when we come back here, we're going to talk to our good friend Max Winitz. Let me stop the screen here. There we go. Max Winitz is with Blood Assurance. They do a fantastic job in their community. Just, kind of came into our area over the last year or so, but they're having a blood drive all weekend. They're opening a new a brick and mortar blood donation center in Hermitage. But Max is going to join us and tell you about where we can do and what we can do this weekend today to help out our neighbors to the north. So Max will join us next right here. You're watching Mornings on Main Street.
Dental coverage may be a small investment, but it has big benefits, because dental coverage and preventive oral care leads to more than a healthier smile. It leads to a healthier life overall. Delta Dental makes it easy to get the care you need. With the nation's largest network, you're more likely to find or keep a dentist you love. And with comprehensive coverage and additional discounts, you'll have benefits you love too. Make a lasting investment in your oral and overall health with coverage from Delta Dental. Visit deltadentaltn.com to learn more.
Hey, Toby. Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Dairyberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train, Visit DairyBerryAC.com today and schedule a visit. Dairy Berry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
All right, let's get back to the show real quick right now. Let's bringing Max Winitz with Blood Assurance. He's going to join us right now, talk about Blood Assurance, the work they're doing. Hey, Max, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Joe. Good morning from hard-hit Bowling Green. I know you just had a guest on describing the damage. Right now, I am here on Whispering Hills Boulevard, which is just off of Russellville Road. And I know it's cliche, but it just looks like a bomb went off. And I know I'm here to talk about Blood Assurance, but if you give me a minute, I would like to pan the camera so all of your viewers can see just how catastrophic this has been. And hopefully you can hear me. This gentleman behind me just showed up to clear some of the debris of this home that is still standing. Most of it is gone. This house behind me, pretty much gone as well. And this entire neighborhood, Joe, has just been completely decimated. No more trees, just a couple still standing. Thanks for taking me off the double box. And it's horrible. I was listening earlier, hearing you guys talking about the tornado in East Nashville back in March of 2020. That doesn't compare to this. It is catastrophic, to say the least. And I'm here to talk a little bit about what Blood Assurance is here to do, and how your viewers can certainly help the folks who are struggling here in Bowling Green, Warren County, Kentucky.
Well, I know, Max, you have a news background. I mean, you were a reporter and you've covered events before like this, but you know, when you still see it again and the destruction, it just takes your breath away, and not in a good way.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you know this or not, but prior to the job with Blood Assurance, I was an anchor here in Bowling Green at WNKY, the NBC CBS duopoly. So this really hits home for me, because this is a place that I called home for close to 3 years. It's horrible to see so many residences impacted, so many businesses as well. I know of 3 restaurants that I ate at throughout the week when I was an anchor here that are now completely gone. It's horrible. But if there's one thing I can say about this community, it may be the third largest city in Kentucky, but it has that hometown feel. It is such a tight-knit community, and folks are going to come together. They're going to rebuild and make this community even stronger than what it was.
I just see, Max, the devastation, everything, just awful. And I know I got the email almost immediately after everything kind of happened that Blood Assurance was going to be boots on the ground helping people out. What can people do today in Bowling Green to help out their friends and neighbors?
Sure. So let me go back to yesterday real quick. As you mentioned, we organized a blood drive within a couple of hours on Saturday afternoon after we heard and saw about the destruction here in Warren County. We supply 100% of blood and blood supplies to TriStar Greenview Regional Medical Center here in Bowling Green, where right now there are a lot of patients being treated for storm-related traumatic injuries. So yesterday we had a blood drive at the hospital. It was packed. We started at 9 in the morning, and there were already people lined up. I would compare it to a folks trying to get into Best Buy on a Black Friday or trying to get concert tickets. It was such a heartwarming thing to see. And because it was so overwhelming, the turnout, we decided to add 2 more blood drives today here in Bowling Green. One is taking place again at TriStar Greenview Regional Medical Center from 9 to 5. And then we have another one going on in a much larger setting indoors at the gymnasium at First Baptist Church, which is a very well-known church here in the community. For your viewers and listeners in Nashville, we also added an additional drive at TriStar Skyline Medical Center, where there are there as well a number of patients from not only Tennessee but Kentucky being treated for their injuries sustained in this horrible weather event.
How do people? Do they need to get an appointment or just show up?
At this point, because it's so close to the appointment or the start of the blood drives, we can't schedule any more appointments. So now it's just a matter of walking in, and hopefully we'll be able to accommodate everybody. And we certainly appreciate everybody's willingness to save lives. Yesterday, people were out in 30-degree temperatures, waiting in line, braving the very, very chilly weather to donate blood. And it was really, really a sight to see.
You know, again, Max, just to toot you guys' horn, I mean, it was almost the email came out after all this happened to what you guys were doing, plan and action. And I'm not going to say, I mean, do you plan for this? I mean, when you have a disaster plan, when things happen, to hit the ground running immediately?
Yeah, certainly. In fact, I wasn't with the company when it happened, but you mentioned the March tornado in East Nashville. Well, then it went over to Cookeville and caused the loss of lives there. And we have a donor center in Cookeville. And folks also showed up in huge numbers after that tornado to donate at our Cookeville Donor Center. So yes, there's a plan in place. It can be stressful because usually we plan for blood drives months in advance, but this really took a huge team effort, and it was quite successful yesterday, and I expect it to be even more successful today. And we're hoping for more blood drives here in Bowling Green, Warren County throughout the rest of the week.
I just hate it, Max, as we've talked before. There's all that critical needs been there for months now, and now an event like this happens, it's even more dire. But again, you've seen how people come together and help out. I hope again that we have this where people show up. You said it was packed yesterday. Let's keep it going as much as we can to help people out. That's the beauty of our community, Max.
Yeah, it certainly is, Joe. You hit the nail on the head. And I do want to add that in addition to, and this applies to your viewers in Tennessee. I want to add that in addition to donating blood, you have the opportunity. If you own a business, if you are a member of a congregation somewhere, you have the ability to host a blood assurance blood drive at no cost. It is free. All you have to do is go onto our website. That's bloodassurance.org. There is a tab. I think it's either Get Involved or Learn How to Donate. And you can get all the information right there about how you can set up your own blood drive. And we really need those blood drives, not just because of this tragedy here, but also, as you mentioned, the supply has been terrible because of COVID. So we need all the collections, all the donors we can get.
Well, the website again, bloodassurance.org. Everything you need is right there and perfect and good to go. Max, we'll keep spreading the good word with you guys. If you need anything, you got my number. Let me know. We'll bring you on anytime to help promote your cause. I appreciate you. I know you're busy. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Joe. Have a great day.
All right, Max Winitz with Blood Assurance. Again, bloodassurance.org. And you just talked what he heard about right there with people just showing up in droves to help out and donate blood. I've seen it so many times. We've all seen it so many times. We talked about this earlier about everybody coming together and helping out. So if you can help out, there's one at TriStar Skyline Medical Center over there, a blood drive that's going if you can't make it to Bowling Green or get up there. Again, just go to the website, bloodassurance.org for more information. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to Jason Goolsby because remember we had a tornado come the March 20 and went through Nashville, went through Mount Juliet, went through Lebanon on the way to Cookeville. And there are places that are still rebuilding from that tornado a year and a half ago. And what's going to happen to Bowling Green and, of course, the rebuilding there will take forever. But again, we all come together and help each other out. So Jason Goolsby with the Inside Scoop joins us next right here on Mornings on Main Street.
Every year, it costs Tennessee more than $15 million to clean up roadside litter. It's time to keep your trash to yourself and our roadways clear, because nobody trashes Tennessee.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I thought I could hold my liquor.
Is your roof in need of repairs? Maybe it's time for a full roof replacement. If so, choose Middle Tennessee's #1 rated roofer. Tim Leeper Roofing has provided the Nashville area with outstanding residential and commercial services for nearly 2 decades. And with hundreds of 5-star reviews, Tim Leeper Roofing has satisfied thousands of homeowners. To schedule a free and honest estimate, find us online at timleeperroofing.com.
Yeah, there we go. All right, thanks, guys. We try to have fun and bring positivity every morning, and it's really hard today after what we saw our friends and neighbors to the north go through, and to the west in Kingston Springs and Dixon. So just let them know that we're thinking about them. We'll keep spreading the good word and the positivity. Let them know that there's a lot of good in this world, and they'll come to help. Let's bring our good friend who comes in with us every Monday at 7:40. Never misses his slot. Jason Goolsby joins us. Hey, buddy, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me? I messed around with
just fine.
Okay, all right. I was messing around with a mute button. I didn't. I look at my shirt. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to Tommy Bryan for that.
Yeah, you need to pay Tommy his $30 for that too. So if you don't mind, Venmo or whatever you do, getting it to us.
Tommy hired me for a sports writer for a little bit this year, and I must not have done a very good job because
what was he thinking?
He didn't ask me.
He tried to steal his phone. He's got phone numbers of everybody in town. Don't do that. Hey, let me ask you this. You're a realtor and you come on and you know all the latest inside scoop and dirt. Take me back to March of 20 when, the tornado came through Mount Juliet in Lebanon and everything like that, and your reaction that morning.
Well, there was so little damage here at my house in my part of Lebanon that I didn't understand at first how severe it was, and then it happened during the night. I remember waking up and going and turning on the TV and seeing Wilson County Mayor Randall Hutto on, and I knew it had to be pretty serious. But until the sun came up, I had no idea, and started seeing the pictures on Facebook from other people, because we literally had one big limb that came down that I could move by my hand here at my house. So that's one of the strange things about these tornadoes sometimes, is that they can devastate one area, and then just a mile away, or not even half a mile away, do nothing. And so I'd like to share a story with you though, with Joe. I'm born and raised in Alabama, and in was it 2010 or 2011, whenever the big tornadoes were.
Yeah, 2011.
Yeah, my wife and I had moved back down there for a couple of years, and that was starting at about 6:30, 7 o'clock that morning. That was the day of the twisters. I mean, it was all day long. It was like something out of a movie, you know. And my wife and I were driving down the road to go to my sister's house to take better shelter. The first round of tornadoes had hit, and we were driving down the road, and we looked ahead and we saw something, and it kind of couldn't tell if it was a tornado or just one of those weird clouds that just kind of dipped below dipped towards the horizon. And we were driving, and I said, slow down, slow down, slow down. My wife drives, and I looked at the tornado, and I looked at it to try to figure out if it was a tornado. And then I could see a barn going around and around in this big cloud. And it gives me chill bumps now just talking about it. I said, stop. And just so happened we were right by a high school buddy of mine's house. And we pulled into his driveway and knocked on his door, and we took shelter in the basement. But that tornado went on past and did not hit right there. Went on past, and that particular tornado wound up killing 7 people. And it was just, it's so scary to be in those situations where you're just helpless when those things.
I can only imagine, and that's the thing is, you wake up that March 20 tornado that went through Lebanon, and you see the destruction on 109, and and you see the surveillance camera. I mean, it happens in mere seconds.
Right.
And it's really hard to comprehend the destruction. And I just know that for businesses, and I just feel awful what they've got to go through, and it takes forever to be rebuilt. And you heard Jason Carman earlier talked about, some of those businesses now with the questions of whether or not they want to reopen, and you see the destruction and all that happens and everything, and that path of the tornado, especially the one of March of 20 that went through Nashville and through Donaldson, Hermitage, and Mount Juliet and Lebanon, and just took off to Cookeville and all that. And you see that. And so you get out and you see the destruction. Of course, you're in real estate. You got the next morning drive around, and you see houses every day. That's every day you're in and out of houses. But to see a house that you saw the day before gone, it's really hard to comprehend what happened.
Yeah. And it's after these tornadoes hit, it really gets me to thinking, something that takes months or even, years, but most of the time months to build is gone just in a matter of seconds. I mean, you have these 2x4s and all this stuff and this construction all put together, and then it's just smashed to the ground. I mean, it's just level. And I'm not, usually we come on here and crack up and have a good time. And I'm kind of somber this morning, but those tornadoes, it looks like my teenage boy's floor with all the clothes strewn everywhere and stuff. And but it's
You're right.
true. And homes can be built back. Businesses can be built back, but there's the death. And so many people, and particularly this time of year, this close to the holidays, and the holidays,
right.
That's already the holidays are already. I've read somewhere, Joe, where the holidays there's more depression during the holidays because people are so reminded of things that have went wrong in their life, loss and stuff like that, and then now this is to lose somebody. A lot of families in Kentucky and across the South, every Christmas they're going to be reminded from here on out what they lost.
Hey, let me show you this. I know we're going to go off the tornadoes here for a second. Did you see this Murfreesboro athletic entertainment facility? I mean, $350 million built by 840 over there. Did you see this?
I did. And did you know that Lebanon was one of the finalists for that?
Where would they have built this in Lebanon?
I am not sure. Mayor Bell sent out a email, and I can't remember if he identified. Which property it was, and I'm not sure if they were thinking about using the property out on 231 South where Lebanon has already purchased to build a park. I don't know if they were thinking about using that property.
But because it's on 840, does this affect some in Wilson County that might move to this area? I mean, I see a positive for parts of Wilson County. Maybe I'm missing the boat here.
No, I think probably one of the biggest things that would be a positive for Wilson County is revenue in the hotels and restaurants, because big weekends and big events like that will Murfreesboro will not be able to necessarily contain all the visitors that will be staying in hotels, eating in restaurants, and things like that. So,
Let me ask you this. So if something like this built in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County, does this affect things that might be built in, like, Williamson or in Wilson, or things around that are within, 30 minutes?
Yeah, it does. It can change. It absolutely can change plans, because one of the conversations that's been had in the past about building multiple soccer complexes here in Wilson County was that Murfreesboro had so many over there at the Siegel complex. If you know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing, Joe. I mean, we're growing so fast that there's going to take there's a need for multiple things like this. I mean, it may not be in the next 5 years, it might be in the next 10 or 15, but Franklin has a great facility over there.
Right.
Is it A Game? And
over there, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I've refed a lot of basketball games over there. And probably when that was built, people were like, "Oh, now we're never going to have anything in our community." But it's still, as the city keeps on, the area keeps on growing.
Well, let me ask you this: where would you build in Wilson County that? If I could give you any place to build that, where would you build it?
Like you're talking about,
what's a perfect spot to build what Murfreesboro is getting in Wilson County?
Oh, well, I think as far as the land that is already zoned and there, and people are ready to sell and build, that 840 corridor is perfect for that. So, I mean, maybe on this side of the Wilson County line, that would be anything close to the interstate. And so you also have property out there on 231 south. Of course, we mentioned on here the other day about the Barton Village area, right off of South Hartman. And so there's a lot of land over there that could be developed. So, and that's really close, easy access to the interstate and all that stuff. So
I love, if I win Powerball Wednesday night, it's like $350 million. I'm going to build the house at Gooseby on 840. Right? It's just going to be just a big giant shack. And you're sitting there signing autographs. All right, hey, we're going to take a break. Celebrity birthdays. You and the intern got to do this. I love the battle each week. So,
all right,
happy birthday. So don't go anywhere. All right.
All right.
Stay there. All right, come back. America's favorite game show, Celebrity Birthdays, is next with the intern and Jason Games. Will be right here on Mornings on Main Street.
Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. How was that? That fast part, the end felt rushed. I'm going to do it one more time, Claire. Talking Trash, the show that's going to end littering. Brought to you by Nobody Trashes Tennessee. Ooh, how was that? Claire, that sound about right? It felt good to me. She feels me. Nobody trashes Tennessee on my watch.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
Really good try. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Tell me your name, sir. Where you are right now?
Yeah, great job over there. Great job to the band. Fantastic. They bring their A game every single day. All right, it's time for celebrity birthdays. We have the intern. We had a triple box going there. The intern, Gooseby, to do this. Hey, Gooseby, I met a realtor the other day whose kids absolutely love you. A realtor by the name of Troy Charlton. You know that name?
I don't know Troy.
His kids love what you do with your inside scoop. And I was like, tell him we said hi. I'm like, I'm not going to do that because he's already got a massive ego. Why feed that ego? But anyway, they said to tell you hi, man. That's good to know, huh? And they watch the show.
I love fans every day of the week. I can always.
All right, time for celebrity birthdays. The game, if you've just now joined us, you got to get their birthday within 2 years on either side. First up, and since you're the guest, Jason, first up, you go first. Dick Van Dyke. Today's his birthday.
Oh, God. Yeah. He's probably about 87 years old.
I'm going to say 91.
He's 96.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh.
He's an American treasure.
He is.
Yeah.
Actor Steve Buscemi.
He is 57.
I'm going to say he's probably 61.
64.
I'm close, Jason.
No, you're not. Actor, look, either we don't give awards for being close, all right?
No moral victory.
All right, actor Jamie Foxx.
Oh, Jamie Foxx. He is probably about 54.
I'm going to say 51.
He is 54 exactly.
Oh.
Gooseby.
Well done. You're worth double points when you get it right on the head.
I thought about doing that, but I'm not good at keeping up with math, so no. Okay, how about this? Hendersonville's very own Taylor Swift.
T-Swizzle.
We don't call her T-Swizzle.
Oh, me and her do. We're just close like
that. Taylor Swift is probably like 33.
I'm gonna say she's 28.
Gooseby gets it again. She's 32.
That's stupid. See, when me and T-Swizzle talk, we don't talk about age.
Sammy Sosa.
Let's keep going on. Actor, singer. He was on the show That's Incredible, and he always said, "My name is John Davidson."
Is that his name?
You don't watch That's Incredible growing up? What do you people do with your life?
Read a book, Jason.
No, John
Davidson.
John Davidson. 50.
Let's go 64.
80 years old. Singer Ted Nugent.
Oh. Cat scratch fever. See, Ted's probably about 67.
Ooh, that's a good guess, Gooseby. I'm gonna go 67.
73.
You can't guess the same as me. I guess.
Did you say 67?
Doesn't matter. No, and you know what? That's his fault.
That's a redo.
I can't figure that out.
I guess that he's 73.
You got to get this one. You got to get this one. Country singer, guitarist, lead singer of Alabama, Randy Owen.
Oh, from Fort Payne, Alabama, my home county. See, Randy is probably about 72.
I'll say 75.
72 exactly.
This is great.
Is 3-0, and he's nailed the birthday. Not within 2. He's nailed the birthday. All right, so let's get a few more in here. Singer Morris Day of the Time.
Drop the bomb on me.
Wrong song, wrong group.
Morris Day. All right, so he's probably 75.
I'm gonna say 68.
65. I'm gonna try to get the intern. You guys got to get one here.
Just one here. Just one.
Man, I'm going down the list of people that are popular or that are born. Let's see here. One more intern for you. He lives just down the road from us in Smithville. Country singer John Anderson. Just a swingin'. That's it.
John Anderson is probably 73.
I'm going to say 68.
67. Well done. Not on the board. Still got beat, though. Gooseby, we appreciate you. We love you, man. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, love you too, guys. Have a good day.
All right, Gooseby gets it 3-1. Intern, you rallied back. I'm proud of you, buddy.
We'll be back. All right, bye.
All right, take care of yourself. Again, thanks to all the guests this morning. Jason Carman, who was from Bowling Green, talking about the destruction of the neighborhood where his family lives up there. Max Winnitz from Blood Assurance. Visit their website, bloodassurance.org. If you'd like to donate blood, they're having a blood drive today at Skyline Medical Center over in Madison to help out. And, of course, Jason Gooseby with all that. So continued thoughts and prayers for our friends and neighbors up in Kentucky and, of course, to the west and Kingston Springs and Dixon. To let them know that we love them and thinking about them. Hey, that's a Monday, everybody. Remember to be nice to people. Let people in traffic open doors. Nobody cares about your CrossFit workout unless you're donating it for charity. Thank you very much. And I'll leave you with this as we do every day. Nobody ever went broke by giving. We'll see you tomorrow.